Hi, girls and guys and girls. So, I have a word that I'm going to give you guys through this, but I wanted to give an update on the stool that I have made. Okay, so I found the pictures, they actually popped up yesterday, and I was like, look at God. Okay, this is how I knew that He was turning around and saying to me that I needed to get it done. Okay, so we're gonna go through to my files and screenshots, I believe it's in. Yes. Okay, so this, believe it or not, is how it started off. Okay, this is how the store started off. This is the base underneath everything that I have done, and you will see the finished result shortly. As you can see at the bottom of the screen on the left hand side, it says 3 years since, and it says the 28th of February 2021. That's how long ago I started this stall. Okay, I told you it was in 2021. I couldn't remember exactly when. Okay, and look how God strategically got me to get back on it again and finish the stall. I told you there is an appointed time. Okay, I started something, I treated the wood underneath it, I got the tools that I wanted, whatever I wanted to use, and started putting it together. Okay, the plan was in motion on this day. Okay, well, not this day, but yesterday. Okay, 28th of February 2021, the day the day after I didn't do the word yesterday. Was it the day before, right? That was the day I said, right, I'm gonna get back on this store. And look how He literally brought it back to my attention just yesterday about the store. Okay, because if you know anything about, like, when you have your Google account and you have your pictures, it sometimes shows you, like, on this day you took this picture, or this happened, blah blah blah, right? And I was shook. I was like, okay, Lord, okay, I know that you talk in certain ways, and I know that you do these things, so let's do this. Okay, so that's the skeleton of this stall. Okay, so excited I was, right? So I got all these parts together. I decided, right, I needed something for the sides, like, so I got some plastic board. As you can see, it wasn't so perfect on the side, but it worked out. Okay, you cannot tell by looking at it after I put the stuff together that I'm going to show you shortly that this is even underneath there. Okay, that's the beauty of, like, creating, these things, right? So there was the screen grabs, and then did I download? Yeah, I downloaded the other ones. Okay, so this was the process of this. Okay, so where am I? This was me cutting the pieces. Okay, that's my little saw thing, whatever you want to call it, right, hand saw that I was using. And that's the stapler. That's how I stapled all of the cushion onto the top. Okay, there's the stapled cushion pieces there. Like, I literally did process by process, because I was like, I can't believe I'm actually doing this, but I'm doing this. Okay, so that was the top of it with the two cushions. This was when I started putting the foam wrap on there. Okay, so if you can see, this is the blue foam wrap. Okay, like, I bought this, and then you just take it, and as I was doing the stapling, you just staple it together. So that was the side of it. I took a picture of the side of it so you could see that it was stapled on. Okay, so there's the cushion stapled on to the top, and then you've got the green part where it's stapled there, right? Yeah, I believe that's the last of that picture. And then my camera, we have me doing the sewing on it. Okay, the picture that I took of it just yesterday, and today I finished it. Okay, so that's the first ever piece of furniture I've ever created in my life. Okay, and you sit on it. Okay, or you can put your feet on it, whichever one you want to do. Okay, feet or butt, you decide, right? But I'm so proud that I did this, but at the same time, I'm not proud of me. Okay, I'm more excited that, I'm sorry, you can hear the dog in the background. She's snoring her head off. Sorry, Melody's just having a lovely dream. But anyway, I'm so glad that the Lord brought me back to it, because I almost threw it out. Okay, I almost gave up on it and was like, you know what, forget it. Let's just get rid of it, because I don't see myself being able to do this. And then I said no. I put it to the corner and I left it there. And I said, I'm going to do it at some point, right? And He put it into my spirit to do this. He placed it in my spirit to do this, okay? That's why I said to you in the last video that there is an appointed time, okay? There's sometimes we start stuff and, you know, or we get shown stuff and we say, okay, we're going to get on it, and it doesn't work out when we think it's supposed to work out, but it's not on our timing, it's on his timing, right? And then I was sat here and he had me thinking about things that we've been told, right? Certain times there's little nudges that we will receive, right, in our spirit to do something, right? Or he'll give us a dream, a vision, or speak to us with through signs and wonders, right? And we'll say, okay, then Lord, I hear you. And we think, all right, at that appointed time, that's how it's going to happen, or it's going to be, you know, a specific way, because we've made our mind up that that's the way that it's supposed to be, right? And he made me realize that there's been distractions. That's the whole reason why it took me so long to finish the stool, okay? As with other things, there has been so many things that have popped up, okay, over the time. And if I get into everything, it's just like it's roller coaster like, okay? But first it was, right, everything was done the way that I felt like it should have been done, right? Backroom was fitted the way that it was supposed to be. That's the whole reason why I kind of created this stool as well, because I had like a theme going on down there. But this was before I actually sorry, I actually knew who the Lord was, okay? Because I didn't really believe as much as I do now, okay? It was in 2020 he called me, but I was still like doing the things of Egypt in the wilderness kind of thing, right? So I wasn't 100% there. And I had this plan, like, yeah, I want the house to look like this, you know. I was doing everything by myself, okay, for my own strength basically. And he had to come and tear it down, okay? He told me straight, like, that's not what I want, okay? And if you're going to follow me and you're going to ask me and you're going to submit to me, I'm going to tell you the things that I need to tell you. So he gave me the color scheme that he wanted, you know, and all those kinds of things. But in order for that to happen, he had to shake me up a little bit, okay? And oftentimes God will shake us up a little bit. Sometimes you'll probably think, oh, it's the enemy that's coming to distract me. And sometimes it really is, okay? But sometimes it's God. He allows it to happen, okay? Well, all the time, because anything that happens, God allows it to happen, okay? It has to first go through God first, okay, before it can happen. Same like what he did with Job, okay? If you don't know the story of Job, go and read it, okay? He allowed for that to happen, okay? The only thing that the devil couldn't do was kill him, okay? He was allowed to do anything else that he wanted but kill Job, okay? And the Lord allowed for it to happen. And it's the same what he does in our life. That storm, that thing that came in that, you know, seems like a huge mountain, the giant that came before you, whatever it may be in your life now that seems like one of those things, right? The Lord has allowed it to happen. And he allows these things to happen because no matter what, even if the enemy brings something in, right, he will use those things for your good and for his glory, okay? He will turn it for good. He will turn those things for good. Those things of bad, those things of evil that the enemy has tried to bring towards you, he will turn it for your good, okay? And he shall receive the glory out of it, because they will see that he is upon your life, okay? Right, okay. So I was like, okay, Lord, so this is how he had to shake me up. I got my brother and his girlfriend get a dog they had no clue about, hyperactive dog, and she mashed up their place, right? And I was the only person they could think to bring the dog to, okay? Me, I'm an animal person. Personally, I like cats, okay? Before that, I had 4 cats. My oldest cat just died just not too long ago. He was 10 years old, right? Rest his soul. My little beautiful boy. And the others either ran away from him, passed away, or was rehomed, okay? So you could say, like, I'm the person who I would foster an animal, all right, basically, and then get them a new home. Basically, that would be the ideal thing to happen. Oftentimes, it doesn't work out like that, okay? But it is what it is. So, excuse me, guys. They brought her to me, and I was like, okay then, bear in mind my back room was done, relatively done. The most I needed was a new sofa. I put the old sofa out. Really, I should have just kept it, because it would have accommodated this dog now, right? She could have tore it to pieces and it wouldn't have really mattered, because I'd had it for so long. But it was still in good condition, right? But because it was 18 years old and was like, it was solid Italian leather, let me tell you, that sofa was awesome. Okay, like anyway, going off track here, Lord, bring me back, right? So I was like, okay then, everything's done, don't need to worry too much. Surely she's not going to mash up these sofas that I have, because I moved the sofas from the front room to the back because my daughter had a birthday party. And I was like, okay, we're going to use the front room, we're going to have you take your pictures and everything, like set up all the lights and use that can stand and take your pictures and whatnot, and put your table in there with your food objects and stuff like that on there, and move the sofas to the back room. So they were still in the back, and this dog came, right, and demolished the sofa, demolished the wood floor, demolished the wallpaper. And the Lord told me through all of this, he said, when I tell you to move and do something, I'm telling you to move and do something. You decided to sit down, okay? You thought that it was fine the way that it was, and I told you that it had to go, okay? This is how he spoke to me. I told you it had to go. And that was the only way that he got me to move, okay? Was for this animal to come in and annihilate when I say annihilate the back room, right? Even now I'm like, Lord, and he's like, don't worry, it's fine, I'm giving you the colors, you know what floor, this, and he's speaking me through it, okay? He's even told me the color of my carpet for my stairs. Like he's spoken, right? And he's given me the confirmations through church, going to church. And like, I'm sure I did a video and I said I went to the church, and like the woman said what she said, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, yep, I had prayed the night before, he gave me all the answers that I needed, okay? So he has done that, and he allowed for that to happen. He allowed for her to come, and it felt like a complete whirlwind. If I'm totally honest, it just felt like, oh my gosh, like my life had turned in a matter of seconds, okay? Like it was crazy, right? It's still crazy to this day that I'm still actually looking after that dog, right? But I've grown used to her at the same time, right? And we have a system, right? It works for us. So that's how the Lord made what the enemy brought in, okay, for my good. Because to be fair, going into it right now, we don't talk like that, okay, because of certain situations. So me and my brother are not talking currently because of current situations, and I'm still holding on to the dog for him, okay? Like, there's been this whole back and forth to the point where I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of hearing it, right? But I know that the time's going to come that she will need to be taken, okay? And if she's not taken and she does end up staying with me, then the Lord's going to make it so that it works out for me still, right? Because that's how he works, okay? No matter what obstacle the enemy may try to place in our way, the Lord will make sure that it works out for us, okay? He's going to make sure that it works out for our good, regardless, right, of what anybody tries to do. No matter what the enemy tries to do, he will make it work, okay? I turned around and I said, right, that because oftentimes in my dreams, the Lord will show me before something happens, right? As he would do with a lot of you too, okay? Because warning comes before destruction. Also, his Bible, go and look it up, okay? I need you to go and do your own homework and go and look these things up, okay? I'm going to speak it. I'm going to tell you it's Bible, and you go and look it up. Put the words into Google, okay? And you will see for yourself, okay? Right? And literally, I was seeing and hearing people wanting me to be bitten by a dog, okay? The Lord allowed for me to hear it, and their voices saying that that's what they wanted to happen to me, okay? Now, people would turn around and say, oh, you've gone crazy, this, that, and the tarot. Okay, but the Lord had to show me, all right? And he showed me in great detail, and he oftentimes shows me. The last time he showed me that there was going to be an incident with a dog bite was when I did a word on here. And I can't remember what it's titled. I might link it. I'll see if I can find it and link it, right? I haven't done that very many videos, to be honest. I don't think I have anyway, but I should be able to link it and put it in the description or something so that you can watch it or listen to it, should I say, right? And in the dream, Roxanne was with me. She walked into the park, and as I was walking into the park, a dog came out and tried to bite me. And I said to my daughter, grab Sasuke, and Sasuke came out. She grabbed that dog by the neck, and then it ran off into the park, and it turned into Will Smith, right? I know it sounds weird, but Sasuke's name means helper, right? And basically she helped against the evil that was coming towards me. I kid you not, I didn't say what exactly happened to me a few days or a day later, right? I think it was a few days later. My mum is looking after my other brother's dog currently, right? And that dog, his dog, and this dog I have here, Sasuke, who I have here, do not get along. We tried to make them meet each other, and she went off, okay, and then he went off, and it was like, yeah, it would have just been a mess, okay, because his dog breed and this dog breed, no, just no, okay, all the way no. Get somebody else to do it, okay. So they don't like each other. And he even barked at me afterwards because I smelt like her, right? So I've gone to my mom's and I've sat down. He's out the cage or whatever. I'm not thinking anything of it. And he's sniffed my coat, tried to push my coat to the side with his paw, came over to me, licked me on my chin, and then tried to lunge at me, okay? I stood up in time. And as I stood up, then he jumped up and tried to lunge at me again. And I had to tell him to get outside. And my mom had to tell him to get outside. Okay, my brother till this day would tell me and say, oh, he was only playing. I says, that weren't playing. Okay, I know the difference between playing and I know when a dog is trying to attack me. Okay, but the Lord turned around to me and he said, I told you, I warned you that something was going to happen. That's how the Lord speaks. Okay, that's how he speaks to me. And that's how he speaks to so many of you. But are you paying attention to the signs? Okay, because sometimes it can be an actual attack and sometimes it can be a spiritual attack. You need to ask him to show you which is which. Okay, and the Lord will what's the word I'm looking for? Differentiate? Is that the word? He will show you the difference between the two. Okay, whether it's going to be a spiritual one or if it's going to be a physical attack, he will let you know, okay? But he's going to warn you firsthand, right? So he says to me, I show you these things, right? And oftentimes when these things happen, right, it can be a distraction from the enemy as well, okay? Believe it or not, Sasuke was sent to me as a distraction, okay? At the same time, the Lord used that distraction for my good so that he could get me to where he wanted me to be, to do the things he told me I needed to do, right? So that he could get the glory from it. Because my brother's girlfriend or baby mother, what you want to call her, right, has it in her mouth that the back room now is, you know, a shambles. But yes, it currently is, because I need to put the flooring down. I've painted what I needed to paint and I need to put the flooring down, okay? And it's her dog or their dog that came in and did that, but she will have it out of her mouth saying those things, right? By time the Lord has me finish that back room and anybody comes in and sees it, they won't even recognize that it's the same place, because who will get the glory? God will get the glory, because he says they're looking and they're wondering how you are even capable of doing the things that you are able to do. Okay? God uses us as his people, and believe me when I tell you, the enemy uses people too. Okay? In his own way, he uses people. They're out here wondering how you are even surviving right now, okay? Because they was expecting you to fall. They was expecting you to not be able to do the things that you've currently done, and they couldn't understand how you've done it. But they will see that the Lord has his hand upon your life, okay? They will see that he has not let you go and he will not fail you. He is the one who is making sure that all things are working out for your good. Okay, God is the one who's doing it. So I was like, okay, Lord, I like the way that, you're speaking to me right now. And he was like, you know what? Yeah, as I says to you, I said, he will come and give clarification. All right. He will come and give you the warnings. Right. And it made me think of Joseph. Okay. Because I've been speaking about him for the last video. I think it was Joseph, right? He spoke to Joseph, came and showed him specific things, okay, but in parable sense. He came and spoke to Joseph and he had to, interpret the dreams that he had, okay. Joseph had to interpret the dreams that he had. He may not have foreseen that his brothers were going to throw him in a pit and, he was going to end up in a prison and end up in the palace that way, but the Lord had shown him in a dream the things that was coming to pass, okay. Jesus, okay, was shown that he was going to be betrayed. He told them, okay. I've oftentimes turned around and told people about things that the Lord has turned around and said to me. Sometimes the Lord will say, shh, don't say a word, you've spoken enough. If they don't hear you, that's it, okay. Oftentimes I've spoken and told people certain things. The other day, without even mentioning anybody's names, right? The other day, someone was robbed, okay? And months ago, I said to them, do not allow anyone in the house, okay? Do not allow them in the house. Don't make them stay. Don't make them sit. Don't leave them in there because they're going to search through your drawers and they are going to take your stuff, okay? And boom, sorry, not to say I told you so, but I was like, well, I did warn, okay? And oftentimes they don't want to hear. They think that you are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, okay? But the Lord comes and he warns. And if he tells you to warn that person, you've warned them. If they listen, they listen. If they don't listen, then it's not for you to, even worry about. You said what you had to say. You did what you had to do, okay? It was an Ezekiel moment. He said, speak, you did it, okay? You didn't hold it back. You let it out, okay? After that, it's nothing to do with you, right? So don't worry about it. And there's been plenty of times that he tells us that we speak these things to people, okay, and tell them not to do this or to do this, and they don't pay attention, okay? Or we know that something is going to happen, and the Lord has shown us that this is going to happen. But there's nothing we can do about it. We have to allow for him to come in and do the work that he's going to do. Look at what happened with Jesus. He said, one of you shall betray me. And then he said to Peter, he said, you will deny me 3 times. He was shown these things. The Lord had been showing him. Every time you look in, is it Matthew, Luke, John? I can't remember which one, but probably all 3, right? Jesus was going up to go and pray to the Lord and go and speak with his Father. Okay, he was going to receive from his Father what he needed, the information he needed, the things he needed to enforce inside of himself in order to get himself ready for the betrayal. Okay, Joseph was given those dreams and he was betrayed. Oftentimes you will be betrayed, okay, by those who are closest to you. And the Lord will show you that it is going to happen. And you know what he turns around and he says? Forgive them. And you know what Jesus turned around and said on the cross? Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Go and read your Bible, okay? Go and read your Bible and see how much it pertains to your life right now and how the Lord can speak to you through his words, because his word is alive, okay? He says right now there are distractions. The enemy is trying to distract you. You're either going to fall into that distraction and not get back up, or you're going to fall into it and allow for the Lord to get you back out of it. He will pull you up out of the mud. Allow him to do the work. Okay, yes, the enemy is always out there trying to mess you up every 5 minutes by the feels of things. Okay, because sometimes I sit here and I say, Lord, whatever it is that you have upon my life that is so great that the enemy has to keep coming at me like this, Lord. When I say I can't wait, but I can wait, but I can't wait, listen, because I know that it's going to be mighty and great. You understand? And so beautiful. That's how you have to look at it. When the enemy is coming at you so hard, you have to look at it and turn around and say, oh, Lord, you must be doing something amazing. The way that this enemy keeps on trying to pull me down. But guess what? But God, okay? He's the one who's going to lift you up. When they've pulled you down, when they've tried to keep you down, when they've tried to place things in your life, they try to say things about you and things that, you know, you don't even have a clue about, and the lies and the betrayal and all these things are happening. But God, okay, those 2 Bible stories alone show you they came out on top. Okay, Jesus, he's at the right hand of our Father right now in heaven. He is the big boss, okay? You cannot get into, even speak to the Lord without going through Jesus, okay? That's his ranking, top, okay? Up there, the top of the top, okay? King of all kings, sitting right next to our Father, the King, okay? The mighty one. There is no more greater thing that could ever happen to someone than that. Okay? Just to be in the presence of the Lord alone is mighty and beautiful and amazing and all of those things. Never mind to be on the right hand side of him. Come on, I could only wish. Even if I'm in the back of the crowd in heaven, just in his presence, I'll be happy. Right? And that's how you have to see it. And then Joseph, look where he got to. He went through all of those things. Okay, the betrayal, he got lied on, all those things, and look where he ended up. Okay, in one of the highest positions. Don't allow for the enemy to come in and punk you. Okay, don't make him make you feel like this is it and there's nothing else, or you're gonna stay in that place forever, or it's always gonna look this way, or you're always gonna be stuck. That's not how it works. This too shall pass. Bible, go and look it up. Okay, this too shall pass. The Lord is not going to allow for it to end that way. Okay, you shall complete your mission, or missions plural. Okay, allow for the Lord to work in your life. I'm just so happy I paid attention when he spoke to me and completed what he placed on my heart to do. Okay, I know why I created this stool, and it shall be used. Okay, it shall be used, and in the future I know what I'm doing now. So if I wanted to create more of these or something different, I can do it, right? Because I know I can, because the Lord is here with me and he is the one who is guiding me through it. He will help me to do it. Okay, I have no doubts about that. And that's how we must be. Okay, whatever we put our hands to, we must know that it's him that is, making us do these things. He puts our hand to the plow. Okay, he puts our hand to the plow. But if we place our hands on that plow and then we take it off again, right, we are not worthy. That is also Bible, but go and look it up because I paraphrased it. Okay, if you are going to do the work, you make sure you do the work. Okay, you don't give up, you keep on going, and you make sure that you know that the Lord has got you through the whole entire process, even when it's tiring, even when you feel like giving up, even when nobody is cheering for you, even when you are like at your wit's end and you feel like you cannot go any further. He will strengthen you. Okay, he is your strength when you are weak. He is the one that comes in and will give you the blueprints. Okay, for weeks he had been saying to me, blueprints. And I looked, and I swear, I kid you not, I looked over at the store and I was like, blue. It looks slightly green to whoever else's eyes, but it's blue. Okay, the foam that's underneath this store is blue, and I was like, blueprints. And I was like, this has been made from scratch. That is what the Lord does, okay? His blueprints. He gives us the ideas. He's the one that puts these thoughts into our heads. He is the one who, oh Lord, I feel so like, oh my gosh. Oh, Holy Spirit. Ooh, ooh, Jesus. He is the one that puts it all together, okay? His plan is intentional. God's plan is intentional. Allow for his plan to roll out. Allow for his will to be done. Okay? With that, I'm going to bid you adieu. Okay? I gave you some Bible. I told you I'm not giving you no scripture. You're going to go and find them all for yourself. Okay? Dig out the meat. Okay? Take the veins and everything. Okay? Whatever. Just eat it and go back to the Lord and allow for him to speak into your spirit what he needs to speak into your spirit for whoever this message is for. Okay, he wants you to get it together. When you start seeing all of the pieces coming together, those little jigsaw pieces coming together, and you see the bigger picture, and he opens your eyes, then you are going to realize how much he's had his hand on your life this whole entire time, even through the struggle. Okay? All right, guys. Ciao, Bella. Have a great day, afternoon, evening, whatever it may be, wherever you are. Bye-bye.